God. Should we watch another one? I have time. Should we watch another one, or should I go to Jedi Fallen Order? I don't know. Why are they trying to destroy America? I don't know. Let me scroll through. Maybe we should find another one. What's it like to marry a woke woman? Let's watch a bit of this one. It's kind of short. It's 20 minutes. All right, let's watch this one.
This is Christina. She fell in love with
Mark. Despite being in love with Mark,
Christina also found she had eyes for other men.
I kept cheating.
Look, I will have to take some time to give you the link, but I will, even if it's a whisper, I am working. Okay. I'll look it up. I don't believe
So
you.
much, and I just couldn't stop.
Rather than let the cheating break the pair up,
Wait, you're working. Why are you watching a random streamer if you're fucking working?
they decided to explore new experiences as a couple.
I just said, let's try this swinging thing.
Someone give me a follow. I can't see it. Kevy Talks, thank you for the follow.
Another fantastic entry in the Love Don't Judge series. Is it just me, or is almost every one of these videos trying to normalize pathological relationships? Check this out. I'm in love with my son's friend. Or how about this? I first met my fiance when I picked him up from prison. And how about I'm a teen mom and pregnant with my third child? These are all super inappropriate, and there are way more examples than that of truly trying to normalize pathological relationships. I mean, in this one, the husband even said he wasn't okay with it.
When I found out, it was very devastating for me, because at that time, I could have been monogamous with her the rest of my life because I loved her like that. I was heartbroken, to say the least, about it, because I started thinking, oh, maybe I'm not good enough for her.
This seems like a perfectly normal and reasonable response. Actually, a better response would have been to dump her
Yeah, but he didn't, and that's his fault for not dumping her. What the fuck?
instantly. There should be a
He must be. He said at that time I was feeling this, so I guess he must have been okay with it later on.
zero tolerance policy for cheating. If you don't feel like you're in a position to stand up for yourself like that, then you need to spend more time self-improving so that you're more valuable and have more options.
Yeah, it's his fault for staying with her. What? You can't blame her for like making him stay with her.
For him to accept that, like, that I was only in love with him and only wanted to be with him forever, but yet wanting other men. It took a little while for you to like really comprehend that.
Wait, what? Look how she said that last part.
It took a little while for you to like really comprehend that.
The way this comes off is, my husband is just so stupid. Why can't he comprehend that it's good to be cheated on? Yeah, he really must have some backwards beliefs if he thinks that cheating is wrong.
It was...
No, that's not what she said. Of course, what she did was 100% cheating, and I would not be this guy. I would have dumped her ass the second I found out, okay? But she said, like, oh, she's like being polyamorous. She was just saying, oh, yeah, it took him a while for him to comprehend that because, you know, this is pretty much a new thing in the world, even though it's not. It's been around for a long time, but for people to be accepting of it now. So it took him a while to comprehend it.
It was tough at first, but now I get it, and I'm totally on board, and I love it now.
Jeez.
There you go. He
Someone
loves
should
it.
introduce
What's
this
the
guy to Jack Murphy?
Why are you angry for this man? This man says he loves it, so I guess it's fine.
I think they would be very good friends. But maybe I'm wrong here. Maybe his wife Christina has her reasons. Let's hear her out.
Yeah, so I've struggled with monogamy my whole life, ever since I was a little girl and had boyfriends in grade school. I would have multiple boyfriends at the same time. And then I cheated on him with like 4 guys. I was always open and honest about it. And just monogamy is not natural for me.
Oh, wow, that totally changes things. You see, she was honest about her bad behavior, which makes it okay. I've struggled with...
No, what changes things is that he's okay with it, and he says he loves it. So why are you going on this like super rant, being angry for this man when this man said that his grown-ass man said that he's okay with it and he loves it now? I don't understand.
My whole life. Okay, she's struggling, which means that's a pathological behavior she would like to control but can't. Worse, she's finding ways to justify that behavior instead of fixing it. What people don't seem to realize is that out-of-control pathological behaviors come from negative childhood experiences.
source.
They aren't just some quirky
And
person.
how is this a negative thing? A lot of polyamorous isn't negative or positive, it's neutral. It's positive if you find another person who's also polyamorous and you're both okay with it. It's negative if, like, what she did right now, which she cheated on him, but she made it positive because he's okay with it now.
Personality type you have, like Christina is suggesting. Things you
It
experience
is a personality type. What?
as a child get amplified exponentially by the time you become an adult. And kids who don't get treatment will follow the behavior modeled by their parents, whether they want to.
How do you know her parents are polyamorous too? What are you talking about? How do you know that she got, like, abused as a kid? And do you have, like, a source for, like, polyamorous? This feels like the same level as, like, people who say gay people are only gay because they got sexually abused as children, which is just not true.
Or not. So when you're trying to discover why you're doing something that you're doing, you look back into the past to figure out where you learned it. If someone has a problem with cheating, it's probably because one or both of their parents was a cheater. I noticed that they only showed her mother in this video, which means she likely comes from a broken family.
What?
So let me just say that.
Or maybe the dad didn't want to be in it. Maybe the dad's dead. What are you talking about? Why you... This motherfucker, is this guy God? Is he, like... Does he know all, see all? Or is he just a stalker that just saw her and like, fucking knew her whole life by, like, stalking her and shit? Like, how did you know that information?
That this stuff doesn't just come from nowhere. When people encourage broken families and single motherhood, this is how those people's kids end up. You have a
How are you encouraging single motherhood? What?
guy who can't set boundaries by telling this chick no, and you have a woman who is a
He doesn't want to set the boundaries. He said he's okay with it. He loves it.
terrible relationship partner. Worse, she is spreading this pathology to other people like a virus by promoting it on the internet, trying to normalize it, and making it look like a positive thing.
It's positive if you have the personality type that goes with it. Yeah. We also have a lot of support people talking them for normalizing swinging. Just because swinging has changed their lives for the better. I mean, if it works out for them, then cool.
Yeah, so we've been together for 17 years, and we've been married for 15 years.
We did meet when we were younger in school. I actually had a crush on her. I tried to talk to her. She just totally dissed me. So that just made me want her so much more. And then later on in our 21, 22, we ended up meeting at the bar, and things just kind of went from there.
Yeah, we are soulmates. We finish each other's sentences from, like, day one.
We're so happy.
And how is this a woke woman? She hasn't said anything quote unquote woke yet. What?
We're soulmates and we finished each other's sentences from like day one. No. I believe I said this in a different video about Truly, but this is someone who is very unhealthy, trying to appear healthy, but she has no idea what good mental health looks like, so she just says a bunch of things that don't make sense. If you guys are soulmates,
Take it from this guy. This guy knows exactly what good mental health is. Yeah, he is definitely a mental health expert. Yeah, definitely take his side on
then
this.
finished each other's
What?
sentences from like day one, then why did you diss him when he first tried to get with you in high school? If
He's-
you're this
Because you didn't know him. What? And once you got to know him, you both started talking and knowing that you guys shared each other's interests. That's what happened. Do you not understand how relationships work?
perfect fit, then why do you cheat on him? Also, pro tip, if you want a terrible
Well, if he did know at first, it's wrong. But she says it from the start, and he does not not own her, and he has informed consent. Just like getting pregnant is not okay to lie about using birth control. But if you know that you had informed consent to pregnancy,
relationship, then chase after someone who doesn't want you. Christina didn't change her mind when she got older. She still doesn't respect Mark, and she's still
how do you know she doesn't respect him? Yeah, she cheated on him, which is like a thing that can lead to not respecting him. But she said she was openly open with him. She always said she loved him, but she only wanted to be polyamorous. And the guy said he was okay with it, and you both seem better off for it.
engages in behavior that's hurtful to him, so she still doesn't want him. Do you want to know why a lot of you have bad relationships? It's because you keep chasing people who don't care about you. Then people like Mark will play mental games with themselves and say,
Yeah, this guy, this incel right here knows all about relationships. Yep.
I'm doing this because I love her. Love is a two-way street. If someone isn't showing you that they feel the same way with their behaviors, then that's not love, that's an obsession. Mark's relationship with Christina is an example of what that kind of obsession leads to. Speaking of playing mental games with yourself, listen to this.
But the pair found that their new relationship choices were not received well by friends and family.
How terrible. I'm abusing my partner and people are mad at me for it. Well, what did you expect?
It's not abuse. What are you talking about? How is this abuse? And just because your family members doesn't like you and your partner doesn't mean that you are in the wrong. It could be the family is in the wrong. It could be like another thing, interracial relationships. Maybe the white family and or the black family dislikes you being with another person from another race. That doesn't mean that interracial relationships are wrong. It means those the parents are racist.
I've watched a bunch of these Truly videos, and the people always act surprised that others would have things to say about their bad choices. Look at this one.
This is 40-year-old Tanya. She fell in love with
I guess we're going to a completely different thing.
22-year-old Josue. The couple met through Tanya's son, sparking much controversy
Jada Pinkett Smith here.
about their age gap relationship.
Yeah, because that's creepy and weird. Even if you guys met as adults,
It's a little weird. It is weird. I will admit, it is weird. But they're both adults. So what's the issue here? It is weird, but they're both adults. They both consented to it, so let them be together.
that's your son's friend, and this is a pretty big boundary violation.
This is Erica. She fell in love with Austin. When Erica first met Austin, he was serving a 7-year prison sentence for assisting an armed robbery. And Erica's choice of partner wasn't what her family had in mind for her either.
This guy assisted an armed robbery and was sentenced to 7 years, which probably means he had priors. Could it be that your family is trying to protect you? You know, like good family members should be doing? By the way, this woman also has a young kid she brings this guy around, so you can tell.
I mean, okay. He assisted an armed robbery. You don't know what led him to commit that armed robbery. You don't know if he'll ever do that shit again. And from what we know, he paid the price for that. And he's out of jail. And he could go back and start beating her and doing other shit to her. Or they could live like a happily ever after relationship. We don't know that. It is not our choice, our choice to say that what she did was right or wrong.
That she makes smart choices. Anyway, let's hear about some of the negative feedback that Christina got.
Our family
But
and
now
friends,
we're all the way
they
back over here.
basically all found out that we were swingers through TikTok. The only one that didn't was my mom and my brother. I had those conversations with them. The rest of the family we knew would be judgmental. So yeah, they found out on TikTok, and basically what they did was go around to everybody else and talk about us behind our back, but never saying things to our face.
Never once came up.
Never once has one of our friends of 26 years said, I saw that you guys were swingers and I accept you for it.
Okay, so they went to Christina's mom and brother because she knew that they wouldn't say anything critical about their life choices. The perfect sign of a mentally healthy person.
What are you
Actively
talking about?
avoiding
What?
criticism from people.
Baby, she only has a good relationship with her mom and brother, and it's up to them to tell whose family member. It's none of the family members' business to know what's happening in between these two people's relationships. What's happening right now?
People who might just be trying to help them. This is a red flag, people. If you know someone who does this, it's probably not a good idea to be around them. She literally said at the end of that clip that she didn't want friends who don't blindly support whatever bad decision she's making.
No. She said she doesn't like friends who talk about them behind their back and doesn't bring their criticism to their face. That's what she said. What is this?
Also this.
They all want to follow my TikTok, but yet you've been my best friend for 26 years. You've ghosted me. You don't talk to me. You don't answer my texts, but you think that you're going to follow me on TikTok? No, I'm going to block you.
And then talk crap behind our back.
And then talk crap behind our backs. That's what they do. It's been difficult because it's shown us who our real friends are.
Why would you brag about how awful your friends are? You do know that publicly crapping on your friends reflects back poorly on you, right? You were the one who chose to be friends with them, and you're basically admitting that you can't.
Wait. So their friends can talk shit about them behind their back, but they can't talk shit about they're not friends anymore about them now. Okay.
Pick proper people to be around you. I don't know who these friends are, but I can imagine that based on how Christina behaves, that she is crapping on them because they pointed out that she was being abusive.
What the fuck are you talking about? How did you get that from there? She said she didn't. She blocked them was because they kept talking shit behind their back, and they wouldn't talk to them like personally, and even through text, and they ghosted. What is happening here? Does he not? Does he? This guy is such an incel. He hates women so much. Oh my god. He doesn't even. He doesn't even like hear them when they talk.
By the way, making you aware of your bad behaviors is something that real friends do. But evil
But
is
they didn't make them aware of their bad behavior. They didn't ever talk to them in their face. What are you talking
in
about?
the eye of the beholder, so bad people are going to see good people as evil. In fact, one of the signs that you're
This
a good
guy is
person
actually
is when evil
insane.
people think you're evil. It's actually a requirement of being good because the only reason they're
What'd
calling
he
you
say?
both good people as evil. In fact, one of the signs that you're a good person is when evil people think you're evil. It's actually a requirement of being good because the only reason they're calling you that is because you stood up to them.
What the fuck is this logic? So, you know, that literally can mean anything. You know that, right? You could be the evil person right now, dog, talking about this good people's relationship. That literally can mean anything. What the fuck is happening?
You cannot call yourself good if you're not willing to take a stand against bad people.
For me, it was just I just desired to be with other men, and then I would feel super guilty about it. And I had done it with every relationship.
Really, does anyone in her life fall for this stuff? Of course you feel guilty because you're doing something wrong and destructive to your relationship. This is like her saying,
Cheating is wrong, but she's being upfront to the person and being like, okay, you want to date me? That's cool. But know that I am polyamorous and I like to fuck other people while I'm dating you. That shit is completely in the right. But when she cheats, 100% are wrong. Like I said in the beginning, I would have dumped the fuck out of her. I would have said, fuck this bitch, and I would have left.
yeah, I used to always steal money from my friends, but then I explained to them that's just how I am, so now I don't feel bad. Oh, and anyone who has anything to say against that will be labeled toxic.
Swinging has
Okay.
changed our lives for the best.
I'll just say like I think he's complaining this to the cheating part, but again, if she tells her boyfriend like, "Yo, I like to fuck other people while I'm dating you. Are you okay with that?" And this guy is okay with that. That's like in the same realm as stealing.
Best. I mean, not only are we happier, we're healthier, mentally, physically.
Because you forget this guy is probably out there maybe fucking other people too.
We don't allow toxicity in our life. We only allow positivity in our life.
We're active all the time.
There's another one of those platitudes from someone
I
who-
like how he says like in the other video we watched how like people are like authoritarian. They won't allow you to say your free speech and shit like that. When yet here he wants to police people's relationships and he wants to get rid of polyamory. That shit sounds very authoritarian to me.
who is pretending to be healthy when she's actually not. We don't allow toxicity in our life. We only allow positivity. You can't just avoid the negative. Bad things are going to happen to you whether you
Oh no shit, dog. That's not what she means. She means she never. Okay, this guy, it might be actually like on the spectrum, and he doesn't like. He might be like autistic and stuff like that. I'm not saying it to like say like we should like make fun of him for being like autistic, but I think he's on the spectrum and he doesn't understand like social. Because that's clearly not what she means.
want them to or not, and ignoring those things will make your life worse. Speaking of,
When I try to be monogamous, I am not the happiest person in the world. I'm kind of like bitchy. So
You are very bitchy, yeah.
This guy
This
has
is like-
cool eyes. He has like David Bowie eyes. Well, not really. He has one, I think, orange eye and one blue eye. I think that's
like
cool.
a drug addict saying, yeah, I get really angry when I don't use. But what a shock. She's not a happy person. Which is a strange thing for her to say because the whole point of this video was to talk about how great open relationships are. Could it be that open relationships actually make people miserable, which is why her husband was
No, it's making her miserable because she's not in an open relationship and she can't be in a monogamous relationship. The same. Would you call a monogamous person, an addict, if we're living in like a polyamorous society, and then he only wants to be monogamous, but the other person is polyamorous, and he's like being bitchy all the time because he's monogamous. Like, no.
Mad about it initially, and why everyone in her prior friend group was discouraging it?
So we're going to go TikTok live. We are going to see if our viewers have any questions.
Oh, that's
cat.
right. She's a TikToker. Everything makes sense. For those of you who don't,
And you're a YouTuber, dog. You're not that much better than they are. Okay, I'm not either. I'm streaming on Twitch. I'm not even that much better than they are. Come on, dog.
know how public relations works, the whole reason she's doing this documentary is to promote her TikTok channel. You can also notice that her and Mark are virtue signaling with his rainbow-colored t-shirt and her rainbow-colored belt. They wore that stuff
Bro, that's
for
funny.
a reason.
Bruh. So that's woke. That's woke to them. Just wearing a rainbow belt is woke.
Anyway,
Nice.
the best way to promote
Nice.
is to produce some sort of content that people find interesting,
You can't wear rainbow anymore. Damn.
and then casually mention that you have a TikTok so that they search for you. I know that's what they're doing because I do it all the time. Like, I'll make some commentary on society and then casually mention that I found the source material for that while I was using my Twitter account. It's better than just blatantly promoting, and it's less self-serving because you're taking the time to provide the audience with interesting material. The best example of advertisers getting this right that I can think of is a Japanese candy commercial that
What is
created a
happening
full-on
right now?
drama to sell their product. Watch these YouTubers react to it. They're
What's-
dying to
what's
try the
hap-
candy by the end of
What
it.
does it have
Do
to
you
do with
like
polyamory?
really want to try
What's
this gummy
going
at this
on?
point?
Yes.
Because I definitely do.
But whether this will actually be effective with Mark and Christina still remains to be seen.
What the
It
fuck?
doesn't always work. For example, this Truly video was so poorly received that they had to disable the likes and dislikes, and all the comments were pretty exclusively against Christina. As a result, it appears that Christina's TikTok has been deleted. It's unfortunate because I would really like to have seen what was there. Her husband has a TikTok, but all he does is lip sync and write dumb captions. Fortunately,
Like I said, if the guy isn't happy, like those people are really, really reading into this relationship. The dude isn't happy. Why doesn't he just leave? He can leave. From what we know, she's not abusing him like what you're saying. Being in a polyamorous relationship is not abuse. It's not. And he's a grown ass man. He can just move. He can leave. She's not hitting him. You know, mentally, I don't think she's mentally scarring
we
him.
recorded Christina making a TikTok video so we can see what her content used to be like.
Hello, TikTok Live. How are my people doing? All right, so let's take some questions. So he said, do either of you get worried about liking it better with someone else?
Did anyone notice that Mark is situated behind her here like he is a lesser person?
What? Oh my god. What the fuck? What? You are not a psychologist, dog. You don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. How did you read off that? Maybe he's just like in the back because this is her TikTok channel. And he's like, oh, yeah, I'm just gonna be on my phone over here.
As in, like, Christina doesn't respect him at all?
What do you mean? How do you know that?
You know, it is possible to put your phone camera back a little further so both of you fit in the frame.
He's moving out of the frame if he positions straight up. Look, you see, he's moving to his right, I believe. If he positions straight up, he'll be perfectly in frame.
While sitting side by side. This isn't the only example. Take a look at this photo they picked to show Truly. Christina is more centered to signify that she...
Bro, this guy is really an incel. Holy shit. This guy is truly an incel. Holy shit. If you know anything about incels, you know how much they overly analyze shit for no reason. Do you know how many pictures I've seen of married people that look exactly like this? All the fucking time. What are you talking about? Can I even look that up on Google? People. Married people. Boom. Boom. This guy's in the background. Over here. This guy is like slanted over there. Looks like she's more in the foreground. This guy's in the background. Like, what? What is this? Oh, man. she's sitting on his lap. That must mean that she. Okay, wait, I'm not saving this. Hold up. Oh my, hold up, real quick. Oh my God, she's sitting on his lap. That must mean that she doesn't give a fuck about him. She treats him as an item. She treats him like a chair. Okay, that's only a thing for her to sit on. This is literally the same fucking thing that he's doing right now. Holy shit, dude.
She's more important. Notice that she's not only in front of Mark again, but she's also fully lit. See how there aren't any shadows on her face, but when you look at Mark, the right half of his face is...
Yeah, nobody has ever taken a bad picture before. Nobody has ever taken a bad picture and just be like, fuck it, just keep the picture. No one has ever done that.
darkened out. I'll give you one more. In these shots where they're sitting next to each other, her and Mark are holding hands, but she is wrapped around him with both arms, pulling him in, which is a dominant position.
It's ridiculous how nervous I get about going TikTok live. 27,000 of my followers are on right now, which is pretty good for 10:30 a.m.
Hashtag humble brag. So next, Mark and Christina are going to answer some
yeah.
questions from their TikTok followers. The first question is something I already showed. The person asked about her liking a swinging partner more than Mark.
Wait, let's go back though.
It's ridiculous.
About
around him with.
Have you never seen a woman grab a man's arm? So whenever you see a couple walking down the street and a woman's grabbing the man's arm, she's being the dominant one and she's treating her man like an item. That happens literally in every single relationship. What the fuck?
Both arms.
Going TikTok.
Hashtag humble brag. So next, Mark and Christina are going to answer some questions from their TikTok followers. The first question is something I already showed. The person asked about her liking a swinging partner more than Mark. Here is Christina's answer.
All right, so let's take some questions. So he said, do either of you get worried about liking it better with someone else? We don't get worried about that. We have a very secure relationship. We've been together for 17 years. And that's also where the communication comes in when you're a swinger. You want to communicate all the time. If those feelings even start to happen, if feelings that are more than just having a crush on somebody starts to happen, you need to talk to your spouse about that.
So she starts off by saying that she doesn't feel like she would ever like someone better, but then she says she would like someone better? Somehow, simply telling her husband...
You want to communicate all the time. If those feelings are a very secure relationship, we've been together for 17 years. And that's also where the communication comes in when you're a swinger. You want to communicate all the time. If those feelings even start to happen, if feelings that are more than just having a crush on somebody starts to happen, you need to talk to your spouse about that.
So she starts off by saying that she doesn't feel like she would ever like someone better, but then she says she would like someone better?
That's not what she said. Oh my God. Holy this motherfucker actually hates women. He wants to kill all women. Oh my God. She never said that. She just said she never felt like that. But she said if she did, if you guys are trying this, ever did, you need to talk to your partner about this. What are you talking about?
Somehow, simply telling her husband that she likes someone more than him exonerates her. Well, then we know what the real answer...
No, she just said you need to talk to your spouse about that and have a discussion.
...is. The answer is she does feel like that sometimes, and that's exactly why open relationships are pathological.
Bro, what the fuck is
especially
this
when
shit,
kids are
dude? He's
involved.
not even listening
Kids
to
need
what
be in
she
a stable
says.
environment,
He's literally making everything up right now.
and they cannot be in a place where their parents are constantly changing partners.
She will say, okay, I don't like to kill people, but if a guy breaks into my house and I have a gun, I would use self-defense. Oh my God, did you hear what she said? She said she'll openly shoot everybody down the street, walking down the sidewalk. That's literally what he's doing right now.
Kids attached to their caretakers, and having a revolving door of caretakers when you grow up will cause you to develop some pretty severe psychological issues. The most fortunate part of this documentary is that it looks like Christina and Mark were smart enough to not have kids. Both of them are close to 40, and I believe on Mark's TikTok, she said that she didn't have a uterus and he got a vasectomy. Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate your service. Anyway, back to the open
Why are you mad at
relationship
that?
part.
If it was
someone
both
brings up
consensual and they're both like, yeah, we want to get this done, then what's the issue? That was their choice, their body, their
the
choice.
threesome question or offers to bring other people into the relationship,
Definitely not an authoritarian. Definitely does not want to get rid of this.
you can make your own decisions, But know that when a question like that is asked, the person who asked it is checked out and the relationship is over. Okay, next question.
So do you ever get jealous? Somebody said. I don't get jealous. I have had like 2 instances where I've gotten irritated, but not jealous. I'm very secure in our marriage.
I don't get jealous, but I get irritated. How is that not the same thing? If you're
I don't know. I might give him this one. I don't know.
irritated because Mark is with someone else, that's called jealousy. She must have graduated with a degree in gaslighting because she is a professional.
And I'll let Mark answer if he gets jealous or not.
At the time that I got jealous, she actually had a side piece, and mine
2 of
was
them.
kind of like ghosting me and acting a little crazy, and so I just cut it off with her. So I had no side piece, but she did, and it kind of made me a little bit jealous.
So Mark said he gets jealous, and then she brags about how many guys she was with.
No, she's just clarifying what.
Actually,
It's a little weird that she just kind of cut him off there, but she's just clarifying the position, and that's it. Clarifying that she had 2 instead of 1.
I was with 2 guys, not just 1. Get it right? Of course, earlier she said that she was secure in her relationship. Mark is a total pushover who will let her get away with anything. You can also notice that Mark doesn't have the most confident voice.
You remember? Okay, if you had this switched, if she was the man and he was the woman, he would say there's nothing wrong with it, and like, oh, she's just being insecure. Well, that's how women are, jealous like that. They're always supposed to be jealous. That's exactly what this guy would say.
When I try to be monogamous, I am not the happiest person in the world. I'm kind of like bitchy. So
You are very bitchy, yeah.
He doesn't know how to project his voice properly. You can even see it in the
Or
audio.
maybe the audio didn't cut off. What are you talking about? Sometimes when I talk, when I listen back to my audio, it doesn't sound as loud as I want it to sound. Like what?
waves. Christina's audio is like several times louder
Bro, he's really doing this?
than Mark's. Now,
Oh,
if you
no.
speak like this, you can actually fix it. Obviously, I don't know all the answers to having a perfect voice, but I do know how to solve this particular problem. If you go back to videos I made more than a year ago, you can hear quite the difference in my voice. The way you fix a weak voice is to first sit up or stand up straight. Bad posture makes it more difficult to project your voice.
I have bad posture right now, and I think I have a pretty loud voice right now.
Next, this is going to sound a little weird, but you want to imagine that your voice is coming from your chest area. It's hard to explain, but you can play with your voice a little bit by focusing on different areas like your chest, your throat, or your face.
Remember, this guy is not a like, okay, he's not a professional in all this. Do not take his advice seriously. He obviously has no idea what the fuck he's talking about.
Pulling your voice from your chest area will create a more resonant, confident sounding voice.
You need to talk to, like, I don't even know, like maybe a professional voice actor, maybe, or maybe like a person who like helps people who lost their voice get their voice back, like who gets hired doing that. Maybe talk to one of those people. Don't talk to this random asshole on the internet. Don't listen to his advice.
Last, you push your abdominal muscles in as you speak to create power. It takes practice, but you can actually fix this problem quite quickly once you're aware of it.
we've been hooking up with unicorns our whole relationship though. So a unicorn is a single female that hooks up with couples, and we don't have relationships with these unicorns because we're not polyamorous. It's purely hookup stuff.
Wait, 2 girls and 1 guy? Never mind, I was wrong the whole video. Jokes aside, there is another big reason why these 2 are behaving this way, outside of avoiding their issues. There's a saying that I'm sure you've all heard by now, which goes like this: the devil makes work for idle hands. That's a very true statement. People who don't have goals or aren't working towards something will get depressed, they'll start doing drugs, they'll commit crimes because it doesn't matter, or they'll do all sorts of bad things. When people have a purpose or a cause that's greater...
What are you talking about? What if their purpose is to become a gang leader or a cartel, like fucking like El Chapo and shit like that? Like what? I'm pretty sure those guys are very ambitious, yet they commit crimes all the time. What are you talking about?
than themselves, they'll start to align themselves and modify their character to achieve it. A lot of people's cause is their kids, and what keeps them in line when they may be having trouble with their partner is things like, I couldn't cheat on my husband because it would devastate my kids. Because really, if you cheat, you aren't just saying that you don't care about your partner, you're also saying that you don't care about your kids.
What if they don't have kids?
These
What?
causes and goals are important because they keep you on your best behavior, and you really don't want to be in a long-term relationship with someone who is not motivated by some sort of higher goal or purpose to keep them in line.
I like how this guy is always like, oh, the other video we watched was like, oh, these sound super authoritarian. You know, that's wrong. Yet he's talking about, and he's using words like keeping them in line and that shit like that. Like, dog, you sound very authoritarian right now. And like, what? Can people just, do people have to have higher goals in their life? What if people just want to live a nice, simple life? Are they not allowed to do that? What?
I certainly use this stuff to keep myself in line. I'm a YouTuber. I could be super degenerate if I wanted to because I'm my own
Oh, you are. Trust me. No, don't trust me. You are. You just are. This guy is super degenerate.
boss. Imagine being able to work whatever schedule you want and having no real obligations. That's a breeding ground for addiction. But I don't let myself succumb to that because it would be a slap in the face to the people who watch this channel. In fact, not only do I have to stray away from pathological behaviors, but I also have an obligation to be the best version of myself so that other people copy my example and better themselves too. You need some sort of purpose like that in your life, especially if you feel aimless and unable to motivate yourself. It's hard to find motivation without a
Don't listen again. This guy, no idea what he's talking about. He's not a smart guy. He don't listen to him about like morality and how to motivate yourself. A lot of that bullshit online is very, very bad. I don't even know where to get like really good like motivation talks online because 90% of it is just complete dog shit.
defined goal.
And it's part
Take
of the
some time to
90%.
think about it. Preferably, this is some big goal that will take decades to finish.
Just talk to your parents, friends, family members or something.
Or maybe it's so big that it cannot be accomplished in one lifetime. Like how people in the past would build these massive structures where they would die before it was complete. Think of it as like a gift to the next generation. But that's enough for this video. If you liked it, hit the like button.
This
Subscribe
guy,
if you're new.
this
Comment and
dude,
share. If you would
this is a gold mine of
The number of
dog shit ideas. I can't believe it. But there we go. Incel Antics over. Think brief before you sleep. Does not think at all in his life, as you can tell. He is very stupid, uneducated, and does not know a single thing that he's talking about. Hopefully that showed you debunking these videos. But yeah,